Hi, this is Judy and Kate, and we are really happy to be here today. And we wanted to pull back the curtain a little bit and share with you a little bit about ourselves, about our lives, and what we do, what we love, and
How we got here.
how we got here, and really to connect with you. So the funny thing is, well, the question that we really get is like, how did this happen?
This happened.
You know, and the thing is that I hear the very most from women is that, oh my gosh, I would absolutely love to work with my daughter.
And I hear from the daughters, oh my God, I would kill my mother.
So here we are. And honestly, we both feel very fortunate to be able to work together, to play together, to build a business together. And, you know, and fortunately, it always has been easy like this for us, really from the get-go.
Yeah, it's always been a bit of a collaboration, even when I was, a wee one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It always was.
Yeah.
The tea parties, the skiing on Friday afternoons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always just really had a great connection. But before
I came along.
before Kate came along, I had a life. And I just want to share a little bit about that, because that was a period in my life that really informed, I would say, really who I am today. That I would not be where I am today if I had not gone through some of the experiences that I had gone through. I was in my mid-20s, and I had given birth to my second son, and he was born with a rare genetic disorder. He was born with special needs, and it was a really challenging time in my life. I remember when, as we all as mothers have dreams for our lives and our children's lives, it was a very sad moment in the delivery room. Instead of congratulations, it's a boy, what I heard actually was just silence in the delivery room when Andrew was born. And I knew in that very moment that my life would never be the same. And what I knew about that moment was very familiar, because I had had two brothers growing up with the same genetic disorder that were special needs little boys. And so I did know what was somewhat ahead of me. And what I did learn about myself at that time, and actually Andrew lived for seven months, which actually felt like 7 years to me. And I did know from early on that he was not going to live a full life. However, I didn't know what that was going to look like. And so I learned a lot during those 7 months. I learned a lot about who I was as a mother, and who I was, or who I am as a woman. And I learned that I had a lot of strength that I didn't know before at age 25. And that really informed me about what I was here to do and contribute in the world. It was actually one of those like wake up moments that I believe that each one of us has probably more than once in our lives, I'll really say. But that was really one of my greatest wake-up moments, where there was a crossroads. And I really, and what I chose was to really embrace this experience as best as I knew how to do. And it informed me so much about what I was to do for my life, because I really knew that I wanted to help other people that were going through rough times in their lives. And I didn't know exactly how that was going to look at the time, but because I had been so deeply given to and supported by so many other wonderful caregivers, that I really wanted to give back in that way. And which actually led me, after Andrew died and my son Matthew, as he grew up, that led me to make a decision and a choice to become a nurse. That felt like a really an avenue for me to help other people, and which then eventually led me into becoming a hospice nurse. And that was a moment in my life that was obviously a very significant time where I sat at the bedside with many, many people taking their last breaths of life. And what I really, really saw was that in those moments, and of course it wasn't just the last breath, but it was the last conversations that we had. The people looked back and reflected on their lives, and there was a lot of conversation about wishing that they had perhaps made different choices, maybe had taken more risks in their lives. And what I knew for sure was that I was not going to be one of those people to get to the last breath in my life and really wished that I had done more than I had done. That I wish that I had, contributed more. That I knew that really sitting with so many people that were taking those last breaths, that it was really my mission and my message to spread to anyone who would listen, honestly, that this is the time. These are our moments, that we are living, and that life is precious, and that we are here to each bring forth our own unique contribution. And that's really what led me to become the life coach that I am today. After being with so many people that were letting go of their lives, that this is our time and opportunity to really embrace whatever there is for each one of us. And for you, Kate, you had a little bit of different kind of a...
Yeah, my journey was a little different. I
Yeah.
mean, I think for many of us, we find that even though the stories are a little bit different, that we can find ourselves or common themes in them. And, for me, from a really young age, I always felt like I was different. I didn't have the same kind of connections with my peer group that other people seem to have more easily. And I was someone who, from a very, very young age, really thought deeply about the depth of life and the bigger questions and the bigger conversations. It's very possible that it was just a theme that was in our household growing
Absolutely,
up,
yeah.
for many reasons, even beyond what you've just shared here. But so I was always, for whatever reason, I was so interested in like the plight of women on the planet. From a young age, like playing with American Girl dolls and
learning about
their like cultural heritage, and
Kirsten in Sweden and Josefina in what?
New
In New Mexico.
Yeah. And then, later on with Nancy Drew, and then, as I don't know, when I was probably about 14, when most other girls are, maybe sneaking out of their bedroom windows to go meet their friends or go drinking or be with the boys. My best friend and I were sneaking out of my bedroom window in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. with the family dog, and we're hiking like 2 miles through the woods of New Mexico.
Now I hear this, right? I didn't know it.
To go to the teepee down the street at the Zen Center and to perform like a pagan ceremony and like call in the divine feminine. And so, this is more of who I was growing up. And so it's no mistake that for me, when I, like my college experience, I chose not to have a really traditional college experience. I moved to Italy. Something that always deeply interested me was art and history, and really the way that the human experience is felt universally throughout history. And so I moved to Rome when I was 20, and I studied art history there. I also became a private tour guide, and I took individuals from all over the world on these art historical walks and experiences all around the city. I was going in, I probably went into the Sistine Chapel 400 or 500 different times. And so for me, it was really about the depth of conversations and the humanity that I was able to study with the greats, as well as then communicate and have conversations with the people that...
You met amazing people.
And it was such a beautiful, at the time, it was such a beautiful life that I had built for myself. She would come and visit me, and we had so much fun. And so, I had like the fun on one side, and then I also had the meaning and the depth on the other. And but the interesting thing is that what started to happen for me over time, I was there for about 5 years, and towards the end of my time there, I really started to feel some discontent bubbling up. I really felt called for a deeper purpose and a deeper meaning. And I really didn't know what that was. That was a very scary time to feel something that I couldn't put my finger on and define or know what was next, but I did feel that there was something next. And so over time, finding out what that was, I had to be on kind of the precipice of uncertainty and
Of
take
the unknown.
out of the unknown and take steps even if I didn't have complete clarity. And so I didn't know that at the time, but it was actually preparing me for entrepreneurship and also informing me of my call towards entrepreneurship as well.
Absolutely.
And so I moved back to the United States, and the two of us pretty quickly we joined forces
We
again and
Got back in the groove.
got back in the groove of things, and we found life coaching together. And from the right at the beginning, it was just it was never even a conversation. It was just known that we were going to create something really of significance together.
Because we always knew and experienced that whenever the two of us would combine forces, that there was always something greater that
It was amplified.
amplified.
Yeah,
And so that's what we did.
yeah.
Yeah. And 4+ years later, yeah, we've learned some things.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we've really learned is that what we think is getting in our way in the process of building and being entrepreneurs is not usually what really is in the way.
Mhm.
That along the way that we have to heal some things. We have to really acknowledge what is holding us back. Most often it's our limiting beliefs. We have to let go of the fears and the doubts and the shame, perhaps even. We have to let go of the money stories. We have to let go of any codependence, because who we are becoming is really asking us to be more than who we are today. It's asking us to grow and expand and evolve.
And really what we stand for and what we see so much with, we work exclusively with women entrepreneurs, and we really feel that there is this call on the planet that's a collective call for those of us who are feeling that desire and that pull. And, for me, at a time that my life looked like it was really great from the outside, I still felt like I was called for something bigger. And that very well may be exactly what's going on for you. And that even, I don't think it's something that ever stops. I don't think that it's ever like we reach a destination and then we're stagnant.
And then we're done.
At that point, like, oh,
Yes.
we're done. Like, check that off the list. Like, oh, I
Yes.
came for something bigger. Check. And so, it's an evolution.
It's an evolutionary process.
But, I think that when we're being called to this leadership position as women, collectively, that has not been an experience that many of us have had on the planet. We talk about this a lot, but that traditionally women have been one of the most disempowered groups of people on the planet. And that we're really now feeling our power and stepping into our power in such a big way. And so with that, we need to, this is the time to stop playing small. Yeah. That what we really know about you is that you feel that call for greatness and bigness and contribution inside of you. And it's almost like in the same breath, it's like, that you're here for something big. And then in the same breath, it's like, but who am I to be that woman, to step into that? And as Judy was saying, there are things within us that hold us back. And we really feel like that's a collective experience for us as women. It's,
well, since Adam and Eve, literally.
Yeah.
We as women have been, we have not been in the driver's seat, shall I say?
Not in a collective sense.
In a collective
Yeah.
sense, and here we are in this time in history where we as women have so many more opportunities than we ever have. If we look at the span of the generations before me, I have my grandmothers. Before, we have this lineage, Kate, of and following you will become the children that you know that we are the leaders of today.
For sure.
The young girls
Yep.
that we are the leaders of today. And so here it is. We are in this time where we do have so many opportunities that we've never ever had. And I really believe that it's not only our glory, but it's really, it is our responsibility that if we can, we should. And I felt that so deeply when I was at the bedside with those that were taking their last breath because they couldn't. And so for those that can, those of us that can, that we should get our message out. We are the leaders of this next generation. And women are so unique. We have compassion. We have leadership abilities. We are, we are great communicators. We are collaborators.
We're connectors.
We're connectors.
And we have the depth of experience and vulnerability and all of these amazing pieces that are within us. We are also meant to be like the receivers, receiving the abundance and the life that's meant for us. And I think, what we really know about you is that you are meant for greatness. Even if there are those parts of you that are wondering, like, who am I to step into that? Or, is this really mine to live? What we know about you is that that is the case, that you really are here for a reason, that you were born to bring this to the world, that you are here for greatness. And this is your time.
And I really believe that you know this yourself, that you know this inside. And you are hearing this call. You know it to be true. And as Kate was saying, so many of us sit back and say, who am I to believe that I can do it? Your message literally can change the world. It's like we all are a collective one. And that when one of us does not come forth with our uniqueness, our brilliance, our contribution, everyone suffers. It's like a masterpiece, a puzzle masterpiece. One piece is removed, and it's clearly not whole.
So this is your time. It's your time to be seen, to be really visible, to step on that bigger stage. It's your time to be heard. It's your time to share your message, even if you don't know exactly what that message is, that there is a message in you that's probably very much linked to the experiences that you have overcome in your life. It's your time to contribute. It's your time to overcome any fears, doubts, any kind of who am I. It's your time to overcome the money story and the money blocks. It's your time to step onto that bigger stage and really be the feminine leader that you are here to be. And so with that, from our hearts to yours, we just really want to send you love, encouragement, really know that we believe in you, we see you, and we'll be back with you again very soon.
Absolutely.
Lots of love.